misunderstand. Let me know in the comments below, and be on the lookout for the live stream, which is going to start as soon as this guy ends. Q&A, more news, great stuff, you'll see. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give it a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Give it a thumbs down if you didn't. I don't know. I'm just glad you're here either way. And you made it to the end. I think that's pretty cool. So, awesome. Stay tuned, stay juicy, and I can't wait to hear from you clever robots in like a minute. Well, I guess I'm live. Why didn't it get me there? Come on. Wait to hear from you clever of course. Of course. Anybody there? Anybody there? Let me jump over to that live stream myself so I can actually see it. There I am. All right. Hi. Hi there. Hello. Okay. Well, I'll wait a few minutes so we can see if anyone's here. There I am. And yeah, once we get a couple folks in here, there you are. Hello, PhotoGib. Solomon Sampson, hello. Jude, hello. All right. Well, let's get right into it. One thing I wanted to point out that I think is absolutely insanely awesome. Free supercharging temporarily available in your area. Now, if you were following Tesla years back, there were people who bought software limited battery pack Model S's, and bug in here, and there was a hurricane in Florida, and somebody said, "Hey man, could you uncork the battery for the duration of the hurricane?" To which Tesla said, "Absolutely yes, let's do it." And that kind of started a trend where, amazingly, in times of crisis, supercharging is free. Show me anyone else who does that. Is gas free when there's a crisis? No, it costs extra. So that's pretty cool. You know, Jude says, you know, the real money in the infrastructure will be in energy. I hope so. I think EVs are doing great already. I think every manufacturer is going to be supply constrained if they make even a remotely decent product, and I'd like to see that. To me, the big thing is there's going to be money for the chargers. There's going to be money for a lot of stuff. Let's just do it. Hello, Jason. So this was kind of fun. Biden pledges to end $90 billion worth of tax breaks for gas companies. So I guess my first question is, do you think it's going to happen? Because those guys have really good lobbyists. Like really good lobbyists. And I don't know how you feel about $90 billion, but I assume the CEOs would prefer to have it in their grubby mitts. Yeah. That's my thought. So this is kind of a weird one. Troy Teslike is well regarded. I don't know him. I don't think I've ever had any interactions with him. He heard that Tesla is planning to start production at Giga Texas with Cybertruck, not the Model Y. That did not age well. That's only from July 19th. That did not age well. We now know that that's why trial production, at least, is beginning immediately. There may be some juicy insight coming from Joe Tetmeyer tomorrow. So check him out for that, because he spotted something interesting at Giga Texas. So we shall see. 18 viewers. 18 of you. Howdy, guys. How are you? Quick question. Where's everybody from? I see one in Australia. That's very cool. I would love to visit there someday. It's the sort of place most Americans only hear about but never get to visit on account of it being so gosh darn far away. Hello, Benjamin. I have a son whose middle name is Benjamin. I do not think you're my son. Camouflaged Tesla Model 3 spotted testing on India's roads. Now, there's been a lot of back and forth. Earthish. There's been a lot of back and forth on India generally. Their politicians are not necessarily well liked by the masses in India. And I don't have photo Gibbs from Milwaukee. Tesla Dailyland. Nice. Indiana. Hello, Wendelin. It's good to see you. Well, hear from you. India's had a lot of back and forth. Their import duties are, frankly, the highest. It ends up being something like double the cost. It's like 100% of the car's cost, and more than that if it's over a certain price, which Teslas mostly would be. And Elon's tried to massage it a bit and ask for favors, and they have just said a no. So the fact that a Model 3 is testing on India's roads is promising. It's something. It's better than nothing. So, anybody see this?
100% charge?
Let me
Tesla had already run a few.
Turn that down. This is a drag race between the Taycan Turbo and the S Plaid. Anybody seen this? It is, well, I mean, who would you guess would win? I would guess it'd be a very fair race. Come on. I should play it in 1.5 speed to make it more interesting. This is on Drag Time's channel, which is a lot of fun. The guy is, boy, he is into cars in ways even most of us aspire to be. So here we go. Going fast, going fast. And there goes the Plaid. It is simply gone. It's not a close race. It just pulls away. And they did this 3 times, and all 3 times had the same result. And these aren't modified cars. These aren't gutted. These are just production, production stuff. PhotoGib is saying they've got to ramp up the Model S. Yeah, they do. They do. It looks like the demand is there. I am confident the technological hurdles are under control. They'll ramp it. It'll be quick. It'll be quick. Remember this guy? Trevor Milton? Anybody? I feel like all of us have heard of him. Yeah, 3 counts of fraud. That's a shocker. That's a shocker, said no one. Hi, Stefan from France. The Bear, who I got to meet from Bear's Workshop, he took me out to see the Nikola factory, where I actually got an interview that I haven't disclosed yet, and the Lucid factory. He's of the opinion that this is great. This is an opportunity for Nikola to move forward, just get past it all. And that would be, I'd like to believe that's true. Their stock is absolutely tanking. And I think the problem there is that even after the fraud was known, which I believe it was all along, they still have been paying the guy cajillions in stock bonuses, which does not inspire confidence, I guess I would say. Benjamin said that the race just a minute ago, the Taycan, was embarrassing. And I would have to agree. I'm sure the Taycan does wonderful in terms of track performance on account of, Porsche's handling is legendary. And I'm assuming even on a vehicle that heavy, they know what they're doing. The Plaid makes literally everything look like it's standing still. Yeah, it does. I agree. GM forced to halt most large pickup truck production due to chip shortage. So if you haven't seen it, I recently made a video about the Ford Lightning being not very good. And it is now officially my most viewed video. I think it's my most commented video. It's a big video. It's also my most downvoted video. It's my most disliked video. And that's fine. I've got a lot of diehard Ford fans who are less than thrilled with it. But one of the points I made was that they're just not going to be able to get batteries. And they said, are you joking? A company's been around 100, 120 years, and you think they're not going to be able to get... They don't know their supply chain? Well, yes, that is exactly what I'm saying, is they do not understand their supply chain. It was built to work lean. It was built to work in a best case scenario, and that best case ain't now. So that's a bit unfortunate, and I think kind of validates what I've been saying. Oh, Uncle Brumple says, I heard an ICE Mustang beat a Model S, but with huge horsepower. I did see that one. It was 3,000 horsepower, and it was beautiful. It was legit beautiful. It was... Someone in the comments suggested it had probably $20,000 or $30,000 of modifications, and that it would not be a very reliable vehicle. Certainly not a comfortable one. Definitely not an everyday driver. But it's fantastic to me that a stock four-door sedan can keep up with a 3,000 horsepower beast like that. Anything else I need to respond to? Yeah. PhotoGib, I agree. Schadenfreude with Milton. Shady fraud. Yeah. The guy has, if you've read the Hindenburg report, crash and burn, baby, he has a lifetime supply of fraud behind him. And, yeah, that's something you can get away with when you're small potatoes, I guess. But when you're trying to be a big dog, there's going to be some scrutiny. Legacy Autos. Benjamin says, Legacy Autos are entrenched in their ways. They are beautifully prepared for a world that doesn't exist anymore. Could not agree more. Building motors is easy. I said this, I think, in that Ford Lightning video. If I gave you the blueprints, the schematics, and $5 million, you could have a engine factory operational in a year. The same is not true with batteries, in part because steel is plentiful, you can get iron anywhere, and the components that go into batteries are not only vastly more complicated, but their supply is more finite. Their supply is based on the demand 10, 20 years ago. Tesla battery partner Panasonic's new Giga Nevada line to start operations in August. Now, I was excited when I saw this headline, but the increase is actually quite small. Let's see. I think they went from like 35 gigawatts to 38 or something like that. 10% bigger. I mean, that's good, but it's not good. Any publicity is good publicity. That's Trevor's philosophy. Number 11, Tesla Tequila. Never had it. Trevor selling soap on a rope. Well, that would explain the bubbles. There was also an announcement, I don't have it up here, that Tesla may be buying batteries from BYD, which would be, if you've got batteries, Tesla will buy them from you. Oh, I'm not reading that out loud. Far from a flop, Tesla's Cybertruck orders surpass 1.2 million units. Now, here's something I think. This is my speculation. One thing I've heard a lot of is, oh yeah, those reservations, they're not gonna hold. The cancel rate will be vast. $100 to reserve, that's too low. That's too low. But by the way, if you can get $120 million in interest-free loans, fantastic, go for it. but the cancel rate's going to be high. I know somebody that reserved 5, that reserved 10, that reserved 50. Well, if they did it in the first week, they're going to buy them. They're going to buy them and they're going to flip them to people who are at spot 900,000 or 1.3 million. The take rate on those reservations, at least in the first year, is going to be ridiculous. Oh, do they have a labor shortage in Nevada? Is what PhotoGib asked. Do they have a labor shortage in Nevada? I would argue yes, they do. I was there recently. You can't see this. You can't get anywhere close to this. The closest you can get, and you can't see it from this picture, is like over here. So you can just kind of see it over the hill. But even from over the hill, where you can see just like this kind of corner, maybe this corner, it is shockingly massive. But Reno is a very small market. And just like everywhere, unemployment is, hiring people for any job is difficult. But relocating people to Reno is an even tougher sell because it's a small market and it's an unusual market. And it's not a particularly cheap market. Wanting for Giga India. Yeah. Giga India could be great. Even if they don't build cars, they could build something else. They could build batteries. They could build components. They could build solar. But yeah, if the fabled $25,000 car is ready for production, that might be the first model to be produced at an India factory, because the market for that would be double or would be triple at least that of a Model 3. So that would be fantastic. Will we see, Benjamin asks, will we see 4680s in vehicles this year? Does 5 vehicles count? Because the rumor is Model Y will go into production in Texas, and it may have the 4680 structural pack. How many units will be built and sold? Not many. Not many is my guess. Jude says, once the good old boys get their hands on the 3M custom skins for the Cybertrucks, the truck market is going to change. So here's my thought. A good wrap is a few $1,000s. Cybertruck takes more material than another vehicle, but it takes less effort. And if you've done one Cybertruck, the second one's going to be easier. And if you've done 10 today, it's going to be easier still. If Tesla offers wraps for $2,000 or $3,000, they're going to make an incredibly huge margin on those. And they can have 30 colors, 100 colors, because just having rolls of material laying around is very cheap, and the markup is outrageous. And if you imagine it in an assembly line sort of deal. Truck rolls in, you look at the color, and 5 guys attack it. Dude on the hood, fenders, doors, back panels, you're done. It could be wrapped and out in 15 minutes, maybe 20. So the cost for that would be quite low. Quite low. Much lower than paint. So much money going to batteries, it's impossible to not see rapid advancements. The future is bright. I agree. Batteries are still getting better, and the prices are still coming down, and that's true across brands. It's going to be magical. It's going to be magical. I'd say 10 years out, if you're not fully committed to building EVs, you are going to be in serious trouble. Chrysler. GM warns some Bolt EV owners don't park them inside or charge them unattended overnight. What? What are you talking about? So they're saying, don't let the charge get below 25. Don't go over 90. Okay, so great. I've got none of my battery left. I've got 65% usable of my range. And yeah, it may just burst into flames and burn my house down, or burn my whole yard down if I'm not sitting in. And don't charge them unattended overnight. You want me to be in it when it bursts into flames? What are you talking about? And apparently this recall cost $11,000 a car, which is problematic. They certainly didn't have $11,000 in profit. I don't think they had any. So yeah, that's a problem. And this goes back to all the people who said, well, you know, when the legacy guys come on board, they're going to crush Tesla. Tesla's just doing the early market research for them. When they turn on the factory, it's over. And we can see who's got more experience building cars than General Motors. I mean, they're the first EV company out there in the modern time, and they don't know what they're doing, apparently. If you buy a Bolt, you're nuts. Recalled. I agree. Wendellin's going to wrap her Cybertruck with what? What's it going to look like? Union money and legacy automakers snubbed Tesla for the summit. Yeah, I don't think I've got that on here, but yeah, they did. That was, you know, I don't want to get demonetized. So insert something here that would better explain how negatively I feel about it. A lot of people said, well, they've already transitioned to electric vehicles. Why would they be invited? Okay, so let's say you're looking to hire a bunch of you're looking to steer a bunch of engineers, students into engineering studies, and you're going to hold a conference. Do you think you might invite an engineer or two who could help guide the discussion? For crying out loud. And the summit's not just about cars. It's about charging. It's about infrastructure. It's about solar and batteries and renewables. Tesla still has a lot of room to grow on all those fronts. What are you talking about? Yeah, it was, Jude said, it was a union event, and I saw that Jen Psaki confirmed as much. But if it's a union event, why is Ford there? The Mach-E is being built in Mexico. Come on, man. That's ridiculous. Matte black for Wendelin. That'll look nice. That'll look aggressive. That'll look scary. Jude says, we've reached the tipping point. Market pull forces are driving innovation now. Practical innovation versus research. Yeah, it's unstoppable. It's unstoppable. And were it not for Tesla, I believe we would be 10 years behind. 10 years behind. I thought Nissan was going to really come alive since they were such a big early mover with the Leaf. But they just didn't commit. They just did not commit. So this is a fun one. Tesla rewrote its own software to survive the chip shortage. Now, you may have heard about this. They ran out of microcontrollers. And so, unlike their rivals who shut down, Tesla has an in-house software team that writes not just, you know, self-driving and the user interface and all that. They write the company's business software. So if you're at Tesla and you're using anything other than freeware, they don't pay for Word and Excel. They have their own in-house versions of it they make. Inventory control is all designed in-house. They've got, and you're like, wow, what a waste of money. Well, no, we need the designers anyway. And when they're not busy, they work on things that save us $20 per month per terminal or $100 per month per terminal. But the fun part is, how many different microcontrollers did they use? They rewrote the software. I don't know if this article says it, but for 19 chips. 19 different chips were put into cars, and they had to rewrite the software about 19 times. And they just did it. So that's why Fremont was shuttered for about 4 days for a chip shortage. And that's it. Let's go back over here. When Tesla finally buys GM, will they reuse their factories or just sell them off and build new? They won't buy GM. GM has nothing that they want. GM has, I assume, massive debt, like all of the legacy companies. And their IP is uninspired. Their factories are out of date. All they have is a brand name, and it's nowhere close to as reputable as theirs. So what else do they have? A dealer network? Pass. Hard pass. Buy an old house as a rental property. Before tenants move in, charge your bolt in the garage, collect for the house and car. Oh, PhotoGib. That's genius. Oh, brand new house. Sell it when you're done. Wasn't my fault. I just was charging my very good car that was union made in Canada. Do you think the government should pay to build charging stations for legacy auto when Tesla paid for all of their own? Yes. Yes, I do, because it's good for everyone and we need it. Not so much today, but definitely tomorrow. There are, especially for non-supercharger locations, there's just not enough out there. There's just not enough out there. What I'd like to see is a bunch of level 2s put in at movie theaters, because you don't need a fast charger at a movie theater, and running 220 is a lot cheaper than, than putting in superchargers or anything fast charge like that. And yeah, GM has, Bear says, hi Bear, GM has $100 billion in debt. Oh, you couldn't pay me to buy GM. Oh, I'd buy GM and take PhotoGib's advice, and I'd charge a bolt in it. That's the only way you're making money on that deal. Tesla will develop their own chips soon, just like as they are, mining their own batteries and materials. Well, the FSD chip was designed in-house, which was a massive undertaking, but someone still has to make them. And getting into chip development is hard enough, but getting into chip production is vastly, vastly harder. So I do not see that coming. Right, he's not the CEO, he's the Techno King. Maybe that's why he wasn't invited to the summit. I'm pretty sure Techno King outranks President. So I don't know who bows to who. I don't know what the protocol is for addressing a Techno King. Level 2s in all small town main streets. Even level 1s would be fine. I mean, if it's street parking, put in level 1s. I mean, it's not going to give you a lot of range, but it's going to give you something. And level 1s would be effortless to put in on every street light. It's something. It's something. Okay. Rivian delays first electric pickup deliveries to September. Hey, Bear, do you know anything about Rivian factories? Something going on with them? I don't know. Bear's got... well, Bear knows a lot of factories. You should check out his channel and subscribe, because Bear is frequently has some interesting information. So this doesn't concern me. Delayed to September, not a big deal. They said they were going to be out in like June or July. Not a big deal. This is fine. We've seen their vehicles out being tested and in use in various states. When Blue Origin did I want to say a capsule test or something like that, Rivian was out there with a truck or two in the desert, which was exciting. Exciting stuff. So, maybe buy a chip manufacturer? Nah. They're stretched too thin on the engineering front as it is, and it's a very hard business with very low margins. Yeah. What will we see on AI Day beyond the vehicle fleet? So, I don't know. I've seen a lot of speculation and a lot of it very interesting, but that is outside my wheelhouse, and any guess I made would be insanity. I'd rather use my 110 outlet than Electrify America chargers. Well, at least your 110 would work. If you've watched any of the road trip videos that a lot of YouTubers put out, they have nothing but problems with Electrify America, which makes sense to me because the entire venture is a compliance issue, a settlement from Dieselgate. So make of that what you will. Tesla's Groningen facility expansion in Germany is nearing completion. This is great. Groningen was the company that made the automation machines for battery manufacture. And when Tesla first bought it, the first thing they did was cancel their contracts with BMW and Mercedes. And the founder of the company, who still worked there, was very displeased with this move. So he did what any wise man who had already cashed in his chips would do. He said, "You reinstate the contracts or I quit." So he doesn't work there anymore. That's hey, thanks, Benjamin. I appreciate that. So that's exciting for them. But this means Tesla has the ability, the expansion means they're going to be able to build battery manufacturing equipment more quickly, which for those of you just tuning in is something you need if you're going to build electric cars. Very cool. Let's see. Bear says there is a lot of land to the east of Phoenix, 10,000 acres big. Oh, you're killing me, Bear. You're killing me. I can't. Bear, in the past, has given me inside information off the record. And on this one, he hasn't. He's given me nothing but frustration. So, good job protecting your sources, my friend. So this is fun. Elon Musk defends Solar City deal against shareholder lawsuit. There was testimony a month ago, like July 12th-ish. What's going on with that? Anybody know? Anybody know? Yeah. By the way, Bobcat, Erie says possibly a Bobcat soon, referring to Project Bobcat, the expansion in to the east of the main building in Austin at Giga, Texas. Yeah, I think in the next week or two, as the steel completes there, we're going to see work begin on to the west of the toll road, where we believe offices are being built, and to the east at Project Bobcat, or as I call it, Progetto Gato Roberto. And like 2 people have liked that joke, and that's just enough for me, man. All hotels should have level 2 chargers. That makes long road trips easier. 100% agree. 100% agree. And airports should have level 1 chargers. Because if I'm going to be gone for 3, 4, 5, 9 days, I don't need anything more than level 1. And running those would be so cheap. Would be so cheap compared to anything else. Anything else. So yeah, has anybody heard anything about this? Anything going on? I think they're going to lose the case. I think they're going to lose it. Because it's really hard to argue with that. And if they win, the lawsuit isn't against Tesla. It's against Elon. So Elon would just have to take some money out of his own pocket and give it to Tesla. So shareholders don't lose. Shareholders just win on this one. And the last one. IR. Will do, IR. I shall remember that. Don't know if you guys saw this. There was a Starlink event when I want to say Starship was unveiled or something like it. And Everyday Astronaut, Tim Dodd, was out there. What a great channel. By the way, he makes all his own music. It's wonderful. Tim Dodd was out there. And after the event, Elon was mingling with the crowd and speaking to reporters. And Tim Dodd was given the opportunity to speak to him, and the PR guy, Elon's handler said, you get 5 minutes. And so about 15, 20 minutes later when the interview ended, thing is, Tim Dodd asks great questions. He gets it. He studies this stuff. He knows it. So here we are. This is part 1 of a 53-minute interview with Elon at Starbase. How cool is that? How cool is that? So, yeah, if you haven't seen this one, definitely check it out. Yeah, I just really enjoy his channel. What else was I going to say about that? Oh, yeah. I went to Spaceport in New Mexico on my road trip. So there's going to be a segment or 2 about that. Yeah, the road trip. Boy, what a lot of work it was, but it was really rewarding. And I got to meet some really neat people, specifically Bear. So that's all I got for my content. We're already at 35 minutes, so if there's any questions, let's take them real quick and then wrap it up. Yeah, that'd be cool. No peeking. Let me look at questions here. Where am I at? Let me pull this up. Too big? Oh, too big. Thanks to my Patreons who keep this bad beast in motion. You guys are literally the reason I was able to get some of the exclusives that I got on the trip, and that was genuinely awesome. And I couldn't have done it without you, and I appreciate it so much. So much. Let's see here. Wow. Jude says that interview with Tim Dodd is yeah. Oh, IRIR? Oh, IRRI. I'll get it. A 5-minute interview that goes long by an order of magnitude. By the way, in the earnings call, order of magnitude is always the free space on the bingo card. So that's kind of nice. What else we got here? Am I making this look terrible? No. Have you discussed the weak and manipulated Biden-pushed new emissions for the big 3? I think it's actually another positive for Tesla. Yeah, I'm pretty frustrated with that. We went over it a little bit, but it was not an EV event. It was a union event, which is frustrating. It should be disqualifying because so many of those EVs are not made in the U.S. They're made in Mexico and other places. Oh, yeah, PhotoGib, thanks for coming out. I appreciate you being here. Do I really think Giga Texas will achieve customer deliveries on Model Y this quarter? No, I think it's going to be Q4. I think it's going to be Q4. But I think it's going to be early in limited numbers in Q4. So, yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and wrap it up. If you guys enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you liked it. Let me know if I should do this again, because it was fun. It was fun. And I had fun. And unlike other live streams, I didn't stress myself out too much. So that's great. Thanks for joining me, guys. And I've got more stuff coming all weekend. Now, how do I turn this gosh darn thing off? There we go. Model Y, first car in October. I agree, Bear. I agree. New EPA standards announced, almost back to Obama. Not great. Thank you, Jude. Yes again, please. IRRI, thank you. You're welcome, and thank you for being here and all the great questions. And I will talk to you guys soon.